Warm welcome for today's lecture. I'm very happy you have joined it today. And this is me, Matis. And let's wait still a couple of moments when more and more people who wanted to participate today will connect to this platform. And I'm really convinced that you will enjoy today's lecture as I have prepared some information for you. Yeah, and I would say that today, the lecture will be in English as for me from Estonia, and I have a slight knowledge and I can say tere to greet all of you, but I would say that, yeah, also I invite you to write comments or questions into the chat box, and there I will be answering to those questions afterwards. Of course, how much is to my power and knowledge, and how much confidential information actually I can share with you guys, with the outside organization participants. And I guess, yeah, to start the video, you won't see me. Further on, you will see my slides. And as I told, we will have afterwards a questions and answers session where I will be reading through your questions and trying to give answers to them. And okay, I guess we are good to go. And I am turning my screen share on so you can see the topic which you have gathered today. And the screen should be on. And today we'll be talking about the electric mobility and the future of the automotive industry based on the Volkswagen experience. And you might think, why Volkswagen, why Möller Auto is the one who is participating today, but yep, just a few seconds, I will inform why it is like that. And to introduce myself on this topic, my name is Matis Zemītis. I come from Latvia. I have visited many great events in Estonia, and I really love them. The last one missing Tallinn exhibition at the Kadriorgu Park with the e-mobility e-models, which I have brought. And as you can see on the picture, the yellow ID Buzz, which was launched also in the Möller Auto Ülemiste dealership in Tallinn. So this was the unique place where I was participating also on the stage. Yeah, from me, I'm the e-mobility expert for Volkswagen and Volkswagen commercial vehicles in the Baltic countries, yeah, in all three countries, and Audi for Latvia and Lithuania, as you have other representatives in Estonia. So I will have some information also regards the Audi, as this is a part of the Volkswagen group. Yeah, and I'm working for Möller Mobility Group from the importer of the Volkswagen and Audi already for almost 13 years. So I'm kind of a dinosaur in this organization, but during the time I have gained a lot of information from the technical side and from the product side. And yeah, last few years I'm dedicated to the e-mobility, and yeah, have deep dive into that topic, and it's really exciting, and I hope and I really believe that you will also find it very exciting. And to start with our company, why Möller Auto? As you might know, what is the leading company, leading country regards the e-mobility in the whole world? And yes, it's correct, it is Norway. And why am I telling that? Because we are owned by the Norway Möller Mobility Group, and they have a lot of experience on the e-mobility and a lot of know-how how to gain the e-mobility and what is needed to implement e-mobility successfully. And of course, they have gone through a lot of different experiences, and all were not successful from the beginning, but this is why we are here, and we already have this knowledge how to make it successful from the beginning, as we are sharing their knowledge. About our company, yeah, we are representing 3 brands in the Baltics, Volkswagen and Volkswagen commercial vehicles in all Baltic countries, and Audi, Latvia, Lithuania. So those 3 brands you can see on the map, we have a quite good coverage of 29 partners and service partners across all markets. Yeah, so we are quite good covered and with services and dealerships. And we are doing quite good. We are actually the biggest automotive company in the Baltic states if it comes to the turnover. Here we have 2019 data, and we are 70 multicultural people, team from all over the Europe and from Norway. So this is about why Möller is represented here. We are quite a big company, and we have some knowledge to be shared with you. Yeah, so today's topics are mainly countless challenges. I would say we have a lot of challenges in front of us and a lot of opportunity as well. And we will be talking about the sustainability, which is one of the main drivers of the electric and the green mobility, totally new opportunities in the automotive industry, and of course the user experience, which is changing day by day with the new cultures, with the new younger users, which have totally different understanding and experience how the things should be in the car industry. And so in the beginning, we must check where are we coming from. So this is how it all started. Of course, Volkswagen is one of those brands who has a heritage, and we are very proud of it. And we are coming from the starting with the Beetle. Then we will check what is happening with the society. Also, what is impacting us, it is the legislation and of course the competition. There are a lot of new brands which are coming through the market. And yeah, this is the today's situation, which we must live with, and we must be there. And yeah, if we start with where are we coming from? So here you can see that we have a lot of phases, a lot of models, like the best example would be the Golf. It's the icon of the Volkswagen. And you can see how the engineering, how the vehicle industry has evolved. And we have compared here several Golf models. As you can see, all of them are having almost the same displacement of the cubic centimeters of the engine. But the power output has been growing a lot, and also the fuel consumption has been decreasing. So this is the evolution of the mobility which we have been growing with and we have been working on. And the CO2 emissions have been decreased dramatically. And yeah, of course, vehicles have become, they have become heavier and meanwhile much more safer. Next one is of course the changes in the society. All remember the 2015 when everything started with some wrong measurements, and actually this is one of the main drivers why Volkswagen then started to turn that big ship in I would say other direction. And there was a lot of media all around, and everybody remembers the Dieselgate. But as you all know, that was the main driver why Volkswagen is now so much into the e-mobility, and why they started already then to think about what's happened with their future and with our future. Of course, new generations are coming, and they are more looking into green, eco-friendly vehicles, much more different approach. As I remember that my father used to buy a vehicle, and if it did not have the user manual for all the parts, how to change something in the engine or in the carburetor, then yeah, it's almost useless. You cannot drive it. Today, you don't do mainly anything. And if you see a vehicle with open bonnet, I don't know what you can find out there, because everything is quite good closed. Yeah, and you should simply contact the responsible persons, which will take a personal and professional touch of it. And of course, the mindset change in 2020 showed us that it's changing even faster than we thought. That you know, the Venice channels, they are having actually blue water in them. Yeah, so it's transparent and the skies are blue without planes. Of course, I'm missing traveling, but we can all agree that this is the thing, that everything is changing, and the mindset is changing to more and more green thinking, recycling, and sustainability. And everybody hope that technical solutions will save the planet. So we really believe in engineers. We really believe in technical experience and new technical solutions in all over the planet to make our life greener and more sophisticated. Of course, changes in legislation. This is also one of the main drivers why we should cut down the emissions, because there are a lot of new measurements, because the old measurement system was not appropriate anymore. The NEDC, which stands for New Emission Driving Cycle, this was something very old and not fitting the real life driving emissions at all. And here you can see that if the CO2 regulations in 2015 was allowing to have up to 130 gram average per car manufacturer to produce, then in 2020 it's already 95 grams on kilometer of the CO2 emissions. And also there are a lot of new topics with the Dieselgate. There are a lot of new cities which are implementing the ultra low emission zones like ULEZ, which is also pushing forward the e-mobility and green energy, like plug-in hybrid usage and so on. Of course, prices of the petrol have again increased quite a lot, and we don't see the decrease in a sooner time if nothing happens. We don't know that. But of course, also the taxation has been changed to meet the climate goals, and also changes in the competition. We have a lot of new players which were not on the map in the previous years, and I'm talking like many Asian brands are coming here, many newcomers, new mobility providers are going to the Europe. But I will not touch this topic a lot, but you notice in the media that there are a lot of new players around to be coming into the Europe. And the main driver was, of course, the sustainability. And of course, Europe is the first market which has become up with the Paris Agreement to become the first region on the planet which is the CO2 neutral. And that's why we will talk about the CO2 neutrality. What does that mean actually? The green energy, you should know what that is. And of course, the recycling, which is also a great concern of the customers which are looking towards the electric vehicles. And as you know that all the countries from Europe, most of them have signed the Paris Agreement. And this is how also Volkswagen has signed that commitment. And Volkswagen Group is the only one who have actually signed that. So here you can see the vision, and the target is to massively reduce the CO2 emissions and here we are talking by all Volkswagen Group, and by 2020 to become a carbon neutral mobility operator. And I will tell you how Volkswagen is aiming and to get to that. And first of all, the CO2 neutral should be all the life cycle of the vehicle. And here you can see the ID.3, which has started as and released from the manufacturer as a totally CO2 neutral vehicle. And it starts already on the supply chain. Environmentally friendly supply chain solutions are used. The production, they use only green energy. Vehicle handover, we are informing our customers how pure the vehicle is. I will show one of the next slide how does it seems. And of course, afterwards, customer is responsible to be there and to keep on using the green energy resources from his own or electrician company offered ones. So this is already on customer shoulders. But this is how it happens that when all the ID3s were delivered in the Baltic countries and all over the Europe, they are receiving the carbon neutral product certificate. And this is actually first vehicle from Volkswagen, which has that it is produced with the neutral CO2 footprint. Yeah, so this is in Estonian afterwards. If you would like to, yeah, you can pause it and to see it. This is in Estonian. And here is the Zwickau factory, where previously other brands were produced, and then also Volkswagen Golf. Some of the derivatives were produced there, and you can see it has been totally rebuilt and only powered by the green energy, and using the green energy solutions to the whole supply chain, to get to these facilities. Also, the second life and recycling of the battery. This is a very hot topic, and almost in each and every press conference, I receive that question: what will happen with the old batteries? Where are you putting them? And how much can you actually recycle of them? And basically, with the modular electrical wheelbase, which is the platform of the ID3, I will touch that also. All the batteries can be 100% recycled if they are not damaged, if they have not been burned like totally. Yeah, there are still cells which can be used afterwards. And one of the great things is that actually there are a lot of new companies, a lot of startups which would like to collect those batteries and build some great power banks from those battery models for new big houses, as for instance in Norway, the mobility has become so far that they even have such a thing that you pay more if you are using more energy. Like the power peak of the energy which is used is telling you what is the maximum amount what you have to pay at your monthly bill. And this is why they are storing the battery packs to reduce the maximum peak of the power. And this is one part how you can actually use it afterwards. And the problem actually is in the batteries are that they are lacking. All the startups are lacking of the batteries. They are waiting when the first vehicles from the electric perspective, when they will break down, when the batteries will be dead. And the thing is that of course vehicle dies first. It rusts and all the moving parts are going out of the order, but batteries are still live. And as many non-believers, I would call them, or those who were concerned about the electric models were concerned about the battery long life, but they last longer than the vehicle itself. And we can see that all the first generation vehicles, which are driving in the very heavy conditions in Norway, they are still there, and the first vehicles are already resold like for the third time already. And yes, the range has been dropped a bit, but it's not so much as everyone were thinking in the beginning. And yeah, as a great example here on the left side, you can see actually a power bank which is charged by a regular connection of the grid, and inside there is a power bank from the old battery packs of the vehicles. And this is also a sustainable way how to slowly charge up the battery pack, and whenever you need a quick and fast charging, you fast discharge the battery pack, and afterwards it charges slowly back then. Yeah, so this is how it happens. And also all Volkswagens are having, all Volkswagen Group is having a great contracts with the recycling companies in a case something must be recycled. Yeah, so that is covered. And the CO2 neutrality, it also includes such a project that how can we know that of course any part of manufacturing consumes some kind of energy, and this energy pollutes some point of CO2 emissions. And this is how Volkswagen Group has a lot of projects where they are investing money. And one of them is the rainforest protection project here in Indonesia. You can see on the map, and there will be much more projects where Volkswagen will be investing money to compensate their carbon footprint. So there is no CO2 zero or whatever. Everything pollutes something, but in the usage phase of the vehicle, if you are still using the green energy after you have bought the vehicle, you are keeping up with the environment. And you can see big investments, not only Volkswagen Group, but other companies are also seeing high potential into the e-mobility and high need of the electric vehicles. And 80 billion of euros Volkswagen Group is investing, and one part of that is the e-mobility, and the other one is, of course, the future mobility, which includes also a lot of software. Yeah, and you can also see other market players which are there with some big amount of investments. Yeah, and we can see that to prepare to create a good electric vehicle, you must have a dedicated platform. And here I have two great examples of the Volkswagen e-Golf, which is using an internal combustion engine vehicle platform. And the batteries have been stored whenever there was a free space. So yeah, at the petrol tank, and here in the central console, under the seats and whatever. Yeah. And under the bonnet, there's actually a lot of free space because the electric motor is much smaller. So in kind of, if you as a car manufacturer are using the same platform as the internal combustion engine for the electric mobility, you are simply wasting space. Yeah, so, and you're not getting maximum out of that. And the Dieselgate was the big push, and that's why Volkswagen came up with the project of the modular electrical matrix. So on the right side here, you can see the nice platform, which is also called, so this in between is a chocolate bar, so-called battery pack, and it is it allows much more battery packs to be installed there, and has a great difference of the total range which you can actually travel. If we compare the e-Golf, which has on the new measurements 231 kilometer of the range, on the new Volkswagen ID platform, it's up to 550 kilometers WLTP. And yeah, if we compare the battery electric vehicle platform with the internal combustion engine powertrain, then we can see that it has 7 times less components. And what does that mean for you as for the customer or for anybody? That it's much more simple to create it, and actually it's much simple and much cheaper to maintain it afterwards while using the vehicle. And there won't be so many parts which will break down in the usage phase. Yeah, so it's much simple. Yeah, and this is how the model battery looks like. So yeah, if we cut a bit off, and the main pros of it is that it's variable. It allows variable battery capacity. In entry vehicles, simply some of the first modules will be taken out, and you will have a partly empty battery pack. And in others, so it depends. For instance, in the e-Golf, you could choose whether you would like to have one model and that's it. So either you have electric vehicle, either you are going for the internal combustion engine. In the ID.3, you are free to choose from different kind of versions, starting from 340 kilometers up to 450 kilometers. And in between, you still have some 420 kilometers of range. Yeah, and it has a very high power and high energy density. It has 100% repair level. And basically, what does that mean? If for some reason, some battery module, which you can see here, there are modules stored, gets out of the order, you can replace them by not throwing out all the battery pack. So that is the great thing about the modular battery packs. And it has the highest level of the safety. It is so solid and stiff. It's framed in the hard aluminum case from all around the battery pack. And it is also, this battery pack is working as a part of the body of the vehicle, actually, and it's increasing the vehicle stiffness and improves the safety overall. And of course, the European Union asks that the warranty should also be according, so 8-year or 160,000 kilometer warranty for the whole battery pack. And what has Volkswagen said? That for the ID.3, what is happening after those 8 years? After those 8 years, how much the battery will be left? You will have at least 70% of live battery cells in that battery. So yeah, there are tools in the workshops how you can actually measure that and how you can check what is the battery healthiness level. And of course, it also, it is a new battery. It uses new pouch batteries, modules and cells inside, and it allows to charge it much more faster. And of course, this is how the vehicle looks from the side based on the modular electric platform. So MEB stands for Modular Electrical Baukasten. So this is a German word, which means matrix. And these are the advantages that basically seating position is a bit higher. You have a better all-around visibility. Also, the longer wheelbase, it has, if we compare it to the Golf 8, actually it has much longer wheelbase, and the driving comfort is also improved by that simply physically. And interior space is also greater. We could compare that with a Passat. That interior size is really great. Also, one thing which we kind of disliked about the internal combustion engine vehicles is that you have the center tunnel in between. And my kids sitting at the rear seat, they were always like pushing it and punching it with their feet. And this was disturbing, but now we don't need that anymore. Of course, we do have bigger wheels, which has a regular tire sizes, but they are bigger, they are closed more. And there you can, they are improving the aerodynamic possibilities of the vehicle. And this is how Volkswagen is improving into this. So all electric vehicles will have a better rolling resistance due to the closed wheel design. Again, as the battery pack is stored in the floor of the vehicle, the trunk volume is actually the same as for a comparable combustion engine vehicle. And a great thing is that new Volkswagen MEB platform vehicles will have a rear wheel drive, or for some models, it will be optional to have a 4Motion 4x4 system that you will have simply two motors, one on the rear axle and one on the front axle. And you will have electronical all-wheel drive. And also new central computer allows a lot of new features. I will tell about them further on. But this is one of the main thing, which is also improving vehicle and the user experience of such kind of platform vehicles. And the global e-offensive for the Volkswagen is quite high. By 2029, there will be 75 new electric vehicles. There will be separate derivatives, of course, and for instance, the sportier version of some model and so on, and they are counted in. By 2025, Volkswagen plans to sell at least 1.5 million electric vehicles annually. And yeah, by 2024, 33 billion euros will be invested into the electric vehicles. So this is global e-offensive, which is quite impressive. And the amount of the money is very, very high. Yeah, and Volkswagen is not stopping with the ID.3 or the ID.4, which are coming this year to the market, but there will be a great family based on the same platform, which will fit all customer needs. So this is the Volkswagen Electric for All approach. And this is the electric vehicles for millions, not for millionaires, as it was previously, yeah, with the electric cars that they are so expensive and so on. Okay, we have came to users, and as I told that users are changing a lot. And users, as you can see, this nice guy is having a fun time at his home. Yeah, has some 3D glasses on, and basically all the environment around requests the mobility and car manufacturers to invest a lot into similar experience also within the cars. And there are a lot of vehicles which can be updated, a lot of vehicles which cannot be updated yet, but yeah, it should be very intuitive and it should be up to date by today's vehicles. As we know that previously there were only some features which we could update. For instance, the Apple CarPlay in the vehicle, if it's not there, we could update it afterwards, but everything is changing, and basically user is one of the main positions where all the car manufacturers should focus on. And yeah, as I told that previously the user was like from the side in the automotive industry. User was there choosing what does he want, but now we can see that tomorrow's mobility should be unique and should offer brand new experiences and a seamless journey across every touch point what is offered to him. And yeah, everything should be accessed with one ID. So you should have one password, one user through all the environment which you are there. And this is how previously, and yeah, till 2020, how also the Volkswagen Group worked. So as you know, the regular structure is that OEM, original equipment manufacturer, talks to importer. We are the importer. We talk further on with the dealer. Dealer afterwards talks to the customer. So this is how the communication was going on. And it was very hard for the OEM, for the car manufacturer, to actually receive some kind of feedback from the customer, as there are a lot of stop points in between, and a lot of information was missing or simply not reaching, not the OEM, not importer. And yeah, sometimes the customers were thinking that there's no sense to complain or to suggest something to the dealer, as it will never go to OEM, or somebody were writing straight to the OEM, and then they were simply following this, this kind of structure. But a new experience, as I told, is needed and will be working on for the future mobility. And here is how it looks. Yeah, so everything is around the customer, as importer, as dealer, as also the manufacturer. And a lot of new services will be available for the customer, and all parties will be included, not only the dealer, not only the importer or OEM, but all of them. And everything will be available with this one customer ID. And this is what Volkswagen is actually working on. And soon we will have a very nice feature how you can track actually the vehicle status of yours. And this is the aim where we are going to. And already now we have some nice features like mobile apps of the vehicle where we can see status, but this is the current generation. In the future, we will have a lot more possibilities. Yeah, I have this no, maybe you know what does this stand for. This is the main customer approach, or yeah, most common no when I talk with them about the electric vehicles, as they would like to still have their own old-fashioned reliable internal combustion engine solutions, because electric mobility is totally something new. And you know, whenever you haven't been driven electric vehicles previously, it is totally new thing, and you think that, oh, the charging infrastructure around you is not there. You are living in a flat building, and there's a lot of problems around it. But actually, about the electric vehicles, many studies told that the main concern of the customers is the charging infrastructure, and the second one is that the limit of the battery pack which they will have on the vehicle is too small, that they have at least they must have at least 1,000 kilometers of range with a full charge, or even more and more. But if we compare that with a simple thing which all of us are using nowadays, this is the mobile phone. Just ask yourself a question: when was the last time when your phone died? So the battery was drained completely. Well, I don't remember when mine did. I know when my wife's phone died. Yeah, it happens quite recently, but yeah, when my one is dying, I don't remember that point when it was totally discharged, as we have a lot of connections all around us. And that is the great thing about the electricity and about the e-mobility, that you can charge it whenever you have a charging connection. Also a regular socket. From the same where you are charging your mobile phone. And that's the thing, whenever you start thinking that what is your daily routine, what is your daily traveling distance? For me, it's approximately 80 kilometers if I'm driving to work, back and forth. For others, it's up to 100 kilometers approximately in Baltics. And a study has shown that only for at least one or more times per month, people are traveling more than or about 400 kilometers. So this is that one time where you should actually need that 400 kilometer battery pack. And I'm driving the e-Golf daily, and this was, I don't remember when was the last time when I needed when I had some problems with the fast charging, or I was waiting for the charger to be free. Okay, this is not the point yet, and I'm driving quite outdated vehicle which is not produced anymore, but nevertheless all the latest models are allowing you to travel those 400 kilometers. And that's the thing. So just compare it with your daily habits, and just think, what is the distance which you need? And are there charging points around? Because if you are not driving electric vehicle, you are not aware of how many actually charging points you have around. And Estonia in 2015 was the first and biggest market with the most chargers around the country. So that is a great thing, and I'm very, very proud that we are neighbors with you. But unfortunately, the charging went on, and at the moment when Estonian charging infrastructure tendering was going on, there was not the new charging standard in place. So all the chargers, most of the part will be updated in upcoming years to the latest standard, but currently they are not having the European standard, but the CCS, but the CHAdeMO plug, which is mostly common to the Asian manufactured vehicles. Yeah. But the demands are increasing a lot from the customers, and already now I can tell you that I'm enjoying the e-Golf usage. I'm preheating the vehicle as the preheater comes in standard. It turns on immediately whenever you turn it on from the mobile app. I can see where's my car, at what time it will be charged, after what moment. Yeah, I can already departure and so on. So check the status, and of course, very nice thing to write your monthly mileage in the reports. So this is also a good thing. But this is today's approach, and further on we will have a lot new things. As you can see that this is quite a busy slide, sorry for that, but Volkswagen is adding software competencies to the whole car manufacturer. And we can see that how much today we have software and how much it will grow. And here's the split. You can see that hardware, Volkswagen OS is the operating system, and the functions which are there in the software. And it will grow a lot. And the first transformation which we are talking about is to switch to electric mobility, to newest platforms of the electric vehicles. And afterwards, new competencies will be added. And this is the thing that Volkswagen has a contract with the Microsoft for the backend and the cloud solutions. Also, you know that you have Volkswagen company registered in Tallinn, and they are very busy with the software development. And even in the moment when they appeared there in the Tallinn, and we got a lot of questions from the media, we simply said hello, hello, and they deep dived into their tasks, because they have a lot of great deadlines in front of them. That's why, yeah, they are there, and they're working for tomorrow's solutions. Yeah, because this is what customers are requesting, and this is how we will be able to offer totally new possibilities to the customers. And the possibilities are a lot. For instance, a vehicle will have itself health check, yeah, like predictive maintenance. The vehicle will see what's happening with it. Yeah, what is the brake pad status? Is everything okay with the tires and so on? And the vehicle will be able, of course, with the user's allowance, to get in contact with the chosen favorite workshop. And the workshop will be calling you that, hey, I see that your vehicle is having that and that update to be fixed, and maybe you could come and visit us at that and that time. So this is one of the next communication flow, how it will happen. As currently, if something breaks down with your car, you are thinking, what is that? Where to check what's going on, and only then you are okay. I will call the dealer. Yeah, so it might happen seamless for you as a customer. Next one is upgrades and updates, and here I'm talking about the over-the-air updates, which will be live and also launched for the already Volkswagen ID.3 models. Now, in the first quarter, all the ID.3s will receive software update as promised for our customers when they bought the car, that in the first quarter, they will have an update. All the assistance systems and other very, very security related topics, and all the security and important model updates will be still held at the dealership, as Volkswagen does not want that some bits and bytes are somehow forgot or missed over the air due to the bad connection or whatever. But whenever this 2.1 update will be there on the vehicles, afterwards Volkswagen will start implementing the over-the-air updates, which will simply open such a nice features as new infotainment motives, yeah, new skins, as you can call it also, and a lot of new things. Also, the downloads, you will be able to download some needed features, some needed like the map download. This is yeah, something very understandable for us already. So this is of course included in there. And the last one, I would say this is one of the most interesting one, which car manufacturers are working on and which are allowing to implement the new models of the sales, is the activating functions and services. For instance, just imagine you have a vehicle which has a standard equipment, and yeah, after some time you understand that, okay, winter has came and I want to improve my headlights. And you already have a good headlights there, but you are able to use only one part of their capabilities. And then you will be able to activate, to upgrade on the next level headlights. So basically, what is the plan? The plan is that you might be able to rent, for instance, the navigation map for Italy, if it's not included in your vehicle, for 1 week when you are traveling there. You will be able to activate the matrix headlights for the winter period. Or, for instance, when you are selling the vehicle, it won't be like that, okay, I'm selling the vehicle and the new customer is disappointed that you don't have any navigation there. He will be simply able to activate it. And this is how the next sales models will work. That the plan is that whenever you are buying something and you are having your preferred partner, the dealer, also in your Volkswagen ID, from your purchase, everybody will benefit. The dealer, who is there as somehow you are buying straight from the OEM, the upgrade of some electrical system or something else. And also dealer will be there. So still this model works. And this is, I guess, very thin line between today's sales models and the future sales models, how they will work. As already now, as I told that, for instance, on my Golf, if I would not have the Apple CarPlay, I would be able to activate it afterwards. And if I have chosen my dealer as a favorite, then he will also benefit from my purchase. And yeah, I will be able to activate that functions. And this is only an example which automotive industry is going to. Yeah, a lot of information on the one slide, which is not containing quite a lot of information, but yeah, automated driving is also a part which comes in combination with the electric vehicles and in combination with the ID platforms and Volkswagens. What I'm meaning is that vehicles will have a feature called Car2X. Car2X is a feature that vehicles will be able to communicate with each other. And for instance, if I'm driving the ID3 and every morning I'm driving and I have that pothole on my road and I'm overtaking that, then if you have no clue about my region where I'm living at, and driving with the half automated system, your vehicle will know that there is a pothole actually on the road and he will overtake that pothole. So that is one of the nice features. Also, with the ID3, we have two parts of the head-up display, and that is called augmented reality display. Why? Because there is a lot of space behind the steering wheel, and it allows to install massive head-up displays. And this is actually how it will look like on the roads. And I have test-driven the ID4 with this feature, and it's stunning that you are using the navigation system, and these triangles are showing exactly where you must turn. Yeah, so this is a totally new experience which keeps your attention on the road. Yeah, so a lot of new features will be coming there with the automated driving. Actually, as we all know that vehicles are partly already prepared for the automated driving, but the industry is not prepared yet. Why? Because, for instance, something happens, we have a car accident. Who is to be blamed? The user of the vehicle, so the driver, the car manufacturer, which haven't enabled some features, data transfer connection. Yeah, so who is to be blamed? Or yeah, also the road administration services who haven't sent some information. So this is very complex communication between all of the parties, and this is why fully automated driving is not yet available. But the vehicles are already reading the roads and reading all the environmental information. And yeah, as I already touched this topic, the car software organization, which is located in Tallinn, it is of course split to all the Volkswagen Group brands. And yeah, you can just have a glimpse which brand is responsible of which kind of services and which kind of spheres of software development. Yeah. So I will not deep dive into this, as this information is also shared in some press media and is available. But yeah, this is how all the investments in the software, in the car software, are split into the Volkswagen Group organizations. Yeah, and also the electric vehicles, Volkswagen ID3, they are testing whether the vehicle might have a V2G standards. What does that mean? So this means that the vehicle to grid. So basically, what can you do with that is that you can arrive at your summer house where you have no electricity connection, no grid from any operator. You can connect your vehicle to your household and to have energy from your vehicle. And as you know that houses are actually not consuming a lot of the power, and you will be able to set how much would you like to give away from your vehicle. And this is how actually the whole energy system, which we know now, will change in upcoming years, because V2G standard, so the infrastructure architecture of the vehicle itself is prepared for that. Yeah, it is a matter when the standard will be there and when people will start using it. And then everything will change, similar to roaming or similar to a lot of connections and a lot of standards which we did not have in previous life, and now they are so self-understandable. And this is how your vehicle will also become not only tablet on wheels, but also your mobile power bank. And you will be able to, in the future models, you will be able to share the electricity with the grid in the city and earn some money and so on. So a lot of business models which are there. So keep in mind that when studying and preparing something for future, because this is a really big power bank. Yeah, and of course one more topic which is there over on the air, that electric vehicles are very boring. And this is due to the first generation vehicles, which there were, and they were a test, they were pilot ones on the market. And I don't know how boring they are. I don't know, I have been driven a lot of them, but whenever you accelerate already the e-golf or the e-up, you get the perfect emotions. A lot of big engine vehicles next to you are left back there on the road. And here we have several examples how boring do you think the electric vehicles are? Have you been driven some? And I really encourage you to test drive at least some of them. You will have that experience because it's totally different. It's so seamless, it's so fun, and all understandable as it should be. For instance, here's one good example of the e-tron S model. So is it boring? I don't think so. I have driven the regular e-tron Sportback model, and it gives you a lot of emotions, as well as the ID4 and ID3. And especially in the winter time when you are driving and all vehicles around you in the traffic jam, they're polluting and they're smelling, and you have that small smell of the petrol in your interior of the vehicle, just because they are all around there, and you have that feeling that, yes, I'm not polluting anything, and meanwhile having a lot of fun. And or for other example, I can show you one of the record maker vehicles from the Volkswagen, which is the IDR. It has a better acceleration than Formula One. Just imagine how crazy is that. And it has beaten a lot of records on the Pikes Peak, for instance. They aim to beat the Pikes Peak electric vehicle record, which was previously set, by the way, by Latvians. But they actually they beat all of the previous records. So this is the #1 vehicle on the Pikes Peak and on many, many or other disciplines. Yeah, so electric vehicles are definitely nothing with the boring. And of course, still on almost the end of your discussion with your friends or with whatever technicians or experts, they will still complain that to produce electric vehicle, you are also producing more emissions compared to the internal combustion engine. Of course, I already told that in the use phase, you are getting back that footprint very, very soon. And more you drive using the green energy, which is a very popular thing now nowadays, and more charge point operators are using and promoting that they are using only the green energy. This is one thing, but yeah, they will still have their planning to mind that, yeah, still we do have internal combustion engines in the production, they produce less. And here again, as I told you, that technology will save us, and still there is one mobility, mobility solution which does not pollute nothing, which does not pollute anything, is very clean into its building and the manufacturing phase, and it does not exist. As you all might know, there is the Aladdin carpet. It flies, does not pollute, but we haven't grown to that kind of technology yet. Yeah, so that's a bit funny. And with this chart, I would say, we will one day get to this kind of energy density and energy usage without polluting, and living in the green environment all around us, our kids especially. But we have a time and line to get to there. Before I finalize and wrap up my presentation, I would like to show the BBC study that what are the top options to reduce your carbon footprint as you. And you can see that what is the biggest polluter from your life. What you can take off is you can live a car-free life. So you can sell your car if you have it. You can fly less, you can use renewable energy and so on. You can become vegan and so on. But just compare these first two sectors. So you have point 1, live without car, or point 2, switch to a battery electric vehicle. And this is actually one thing which it changed my mind actually, that, okay, you actually, by switching from a vehicle from the internal combustion engine to electric vehicle, you are almost taking away all the footprint and living carbon neutral. So this is the great idea, and some others for you to catch up later. Yeah, and I would say it's 7 o'clock, right in time. Now I would like to ask my great hosts and partners to copy some questions if we have some from the YouTube to my Zoom, so I can answer to them. Yeah, and I do have something into the chat, and wow, so many. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So what is the first car I owned? Thank you for the question. Actually, first car I owned was quite a time ago. It was Golf 4 GTI. Actually, to be honest, it was a nightmare. Not because not because it was a bad car, but because I was a student and I wanted quite fun car, and also then I had some petrol in my blood, which is now switched to electricity. But I went to the wrong service. I went to a service which was much cheaper than the original one. I thought so, and it was the main headache. Why? Because they fixed the change part, and that's why all the engine had to be changed, and also, of course, I changed the engine, and then the clutch was changed as well, and then the problem came out was in the turbo mechanism. And when the new engine was installed, then also the new turbo was spoiled because there was some screws into the new engine outlets. And yeah, I basically learned all of the engine from that car. So this is a great experience and a very expensive experience to say. Yeah. Okay. Next question: can car battery be changed like a mobile phone battery? Well, there are. Yes, actually, yes. Each and every battery block, which I already told, even my e-Golf battery pack includes, it consists of several battery modules, and they can be changed one by one, not the whole battery pack. And of course, it's a bit expensive as the consumption of the battery we are not talking about the ampere hours, we are talking about the kilowatt hours, which each battery module consists of and can carry. So that is why, actually, I checked that in Volkswagen ID3 or in the e-tron, there are two battery modules. One is with the brain, with the control unit, another one is a dummy, yeah? And the one control unit is used for two battery modules. And the smart module costs around 1,200 for the customer. And the dummy costs something around 700 units. Of course, it depends on the model and so on. But yeah, just so you know that you can exchange the modules one by one. Yeah. Next one. Do you think in the future most electric cars will be front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and rear-wheel drive cars will slowly die out? Basically not. Yeah, thank you for this. Is a very good question, and this is the totally new sheet in the e-mobility that I'm, for instance, driving the Golf e-Golf, which you see now on the screen, and it is front-wheel drive. Just imagine front-wheel drive engine, which it has a motor. It is less. It is not so heavy, less heavy than the internal combustion engine. And meanwhile, the heavy battery packs are stored more on the back of the vehicle. Yeah. So basically, whenever I push my throttle more, I get the spinny wheels than the acceleration. And this is why actually the ID3 and all the modular electrical matrix vehicles will have a rear-wheel drive in standard, which makes sense as you are pushing the battery pack, the heavy battery pack forward. And yeah, of course, all-wheel drive will also be there. But yeah, Volkswagen is switching, and Volkswagen Group with the modular platform are switching to rear-wheel drive as standard, as this makes sense. Yeah, so classical powertrain is the one, as we might say so. What are Volkswagen Auto Group's plans on expanding the fast charger network in the Baltic countries? Yeah, that is also, thank you for that. You might know that there's a big common project called Ionity. And for Nordic countries, Ionity is cooperating with the fuel reseller, Circle K. And already we can see on the map that in Estonia, there will be two Ionity super fast chargers. So they are called hyper fast chargers, as they will be offering 350 kilowatt of the charging power per socket, and they will have at least 2 sockets there. So basically, if one, I don't know, currently Porsche Taycan from the group is capable to take those 350 kilowatts. This year also, very soon in the spring, the Audi e-tron GT will come, and it will also be able to take up to very high power charging, and they will be there. If 2 of those cars will be charging there, both of them will be receiving the maximum from the 350. As currently, for instance, you might know that if you come to the charger, if you connect one vehicle, you have maximum for instance 100 kilowatt, and then if others are coming next to you, then it's split by 2. It's or you cannot charge at all. But there 2 points. You can check Ionity homepage that they are already there. And if we talk about the Baltic countries as such, you have a lot of great CPOs, which are charge point operators. I would like to call several of them, like Eleport, Enefit Volt, which you do have, and they will, as I have heard, come up with the fast chargers, and there is already one ultra fast charger between Tallinn and Tartu. So you can travel very fast. In Latvia, we will have 1 Ionity station, and in Lithuania, there will be 3 Ionity stations, 2 already launched, and 1 to be launched soon. So basically, Ionity is the plan that Via Baltica is fully covered, and you can travel to Europe without any problems. And if you are using Volkswagen charging card, so the WeCharge RFID tag, then you will be able to get that Ionity charging for much cheaper amount. So 30 euro cents per kilowatt hour instead of 79 euro cents. So this is almost triple the price of the regular user. So let's go to the next question. When we will move from user-controlled cars to fully automated ones? So this is, we are still in the level 2 autonomous driving. As I already told that vehicles are prepared partly for that, but the legislation is not there yet, and this depends on the Europe. As we can see that in the United States of America, Teslas are having so-called autopilots. Actually, they are driving themselves, and also I could drive with my e-Golf if it sees the lanes and it sees the adaptive cruise control in the vehicle in front of you and so on. But you always must steer. You must touch the steering wheel, and this is the thing that also in the latest Passats and Audi e-tron and ID.3, the steering wheel has a capacitive leather, and the vehicle knows whenever you are touching the steering wheel, actually. And if you are leaving it not touched by 10 seconds, then the vehicle will simply tell you that please take over the steering. So this depends on the legislation, as manufacturers are already working, and there are a lot of test vehicles with some lidar sensors on them, and so on. Okay, the next question: will Volkswagen also invest in self-driving cars in general, like Tesla? Yes, and this is the car software organization. So there also I know that there are some talks about the 5G issues and 5G threats all over the Europe and world. But this is one of the main corners and backbones to have the autonomous driving. You should have a very fast data, and you should be able to receive the data in time. And in Volkswagen headquarter in Wolfsburg, they have installed the 5G net already. And whenever I meet them or in some conferences, I'm always suggesting Baltics as a great small region where we are very compact, and we are there, we are very fast. And if the 5G would be the question, then we would be very happy to actually go and be a pilot market for that kind of autonomous driving market. And this is yes, the answer is yes. Volkswagen is working on the autonomous driving. Of course, as you might know, that Volkswagen Group owns a lot of vehicles. There are some premium vehicles, some lower class vehicles, and in the middle there is a Volkswagen, and it should all happen step by step. And of course, the most premium ones will receive some autonomous features some years earlier. But of course, you pay for that. Seventh question. When do you think there will be mainly only electrical cars on the streets? Well, we can see that in the Norway, for instance, 2025 is the set limit. A lot of countries which have set previously targets as 2040 to become, to avoid internal combustion engine registrations at all, they have actually improved their targets by decreasing the deadline, and they have moved to 2035. Here in Baltics, I'm very happy of the Estonians that you are already very proactive. Government has all the tools, all the ideas, how to become a carbon neutral and how to switch to the e-mobility. But in Latvia, we are more non-believers here in the e-mobility. And we are waiting for something, I don't know, but yeah, it is a pity. But when I think in the Baltics, of course, it will happen a bit slowlier. But it might come out that, for instance, percentage-wise, Baltics were the most growing electric vehicle market in the whole world in the 2020. Why? Because the initial percentage of the vehicles was very small and the growth was very high due to subsidies in Estonia and in Lithuania. But I would say 2030, 2035 could be the turnaround point when the break point, when the electric vehicles will become more on the streets than internal combustion engines, because they will have their value. And we can see that in Norway, the residual value of the electric vehicles are very, very high, and they are higher than the internal combustion engine vehicles. And by the way, back in the days, this weekend, I guess we were traveling with my family, and the kids were asking, okay, maybe we can buy, I don't know, some Tiguan or whatever, some T-Roc R or whatever model. And wife told that I doubt that we will be switching back to internal combustion engine. Because it really, when you start driving it, you start loving it. Yeah, it should be very good experience. And you don't want to switch back. Okay, next question. When do you think battery technology be affordable enough to compete with the ICE vehicles from a price point of view? There are two aspects how we can check that. Look to this question. One is either battery electric vehicles will become very cheap, either internal combustion engine vehicles will become very expensive. And unfortunately, I think that the second idea is happening now, because car manufacturers are receiving more and more penalties if they are not fulfilling the green targets, that set emission amount. And this $100 per kilowatt hour cost is also a breakpoint. We are very close to that, and I had some graphs. How did we look? How much does the kilowatt hour cost in 2016? And it was almost already 4 times expensiver than it is now. So the battery technology, they are evolving, and I have been on several seminars, and if you are hearing some super new graphite battery technology, just keep that in mind. Don't stress that out, that yeah, we are saved and the planet is saved. Just imagine how big investments are there in the battery market. So everything is now around the batteries. And if there is a chance to get some part of the cake out of that money, investments, then of course new technologies are implemented, and just check after some half a year, where is that technology there, and is it there anymore? And this is unfortunately what is happening with many of them, that the market has big investments, and there are a lot of people who are willing to take a piece of it. So I hope I did answer that one. Besides EVs, Volkswagen also talking or tackling the fuel cell market. I hope that. So I will try to answer this one. Volkswagen is now seeing, so we have a climate target, and the Volkswagen Group, they are not saying that hydrogen fuel cell vehicles are very bad. They are not so effective yet, and there are a lot of studies which shows that hydrogen or fuel cell vehicles, they are still using the same electric mobility, and they are not so fun to drive. So acceleration is not there, and if we are already complaining about the market of the battery electric vehicles, which comes to infrastructure, then there is a big lack of infrastructure of the hydrogen. You cannot store the hydrogen for a long time, as its molecule is very small, and it's simply, you cannot store it for a long time. So you should plan the consumption. You should boost prepare something for tomorrow's stations and for tomorrow's users, which might come or might not come. Volkswagen is not putting that technology out, but they are more focusing on electric vehicles, because, as you know, Volkswagen Group is quite big, and we should, the electric vehicles are the first and the fastest possible way to meet the targets and still to have efficient vehicle. So well to wheels technology. So what do we input into the battery pack, we get also to the wheels. Yes, but we are working. Also, the fuel cell is not thrown out. Will these software updates be free of charge for the end user? So basically, the first part of the vehicles, which will ID3s, which will receive the software updates at the dealerships, they will be free of charge. And this is the question actually, over the air updates. Actually, this is a good question. From my perspective, if they are coming over the air and if they are having some bug fixes, this is a safety issue, and this concerns the safety of the vehicle. And it should be free of charge, of course, as there are a lot of recalls happening all around the industry, and it is always free of charge. But if we are talking about some upgrades of the vehicle, this should be covered by the end customer as such. And of course, if there is a new technology which you would like to install and the dealership also is needed, so service visit, then it is their job. It's a mechanical job where the vehicle should be connected and so on. So this is a labor work which also should be paid at some point. How long will ID cars be supported by the over-the-air updates? This is also a good question. We don't know yet, but how to answer this one. Basically, I can compare that with the map updates of, for instance, Golf 7 or a bit older Passats. They are using the header maps and they're having lifetime map updates free of charge. Yeah, and the updates will be released, I guess it was 7 or 8 years after this navigation system is not produced anymore. Yeah, so after, so basically when the software dies, when nobody is developing an update. So this is when the software is left outside and that's it. Yeah, and this should not happen at all with the vehicles, as it's much simpler for the car manufacturer to release some updates over the air to fix something than to involve whole the recall cycle, as a car manufacturer is paying for that. Yeah, we can all agree the boring part of EVs is charging them. China's EV maker NIO has stations that exchange batteries with charge ones in the station quickly. Is this as an alternative? Yes, there are several, and as I have heard, the Renault is also checking such kind of possibility. Currently, Volkswagen is not working in that direction, and we are not renting any vehicles. As you might have heard, that there is a battery pack, and then you can rent something. You can buy the vehicle, but the battery pack is under the renting, and this is not how our sales models are working. But I truly believe that this might be a very good alternative, after some time. So next one is why cars don't have any more a mechanical handbrake. Instead, we have electronical, which is not fun. Fun is eliminated. This is due to the safety measures, as only with the electronical handbrake we can have the auto hold feature. Basically, when we are stopping with the manual handbrake, for instance, Volkswagen Amarok, we can have a hill climbing possibilities that you have a hill stop, and it is the brake pads are kept for 4 seconds and then they are released, because this is how it works. But the electromechanical handbrake, this is a safety feature, and it has also a very nice feature. For instance, you are a co-driver and the driver got sick. And how will you stop the vehicle if he's cruising, for instance, with the adaptive cruise control and so on? You can pull for Volkswagen vehicles, you can pull the handbrake lever and it will start emergency braking. You should pull it. Don't try this at home without any informing the driver. But this is also how it works. So you can stop the car being a co-driver also by pulling the mechanical handbrake lever. Yes, and the 12th question got cut, and yes, that one I have answered about the NIO. So I will now close the chat box, as I see that I do not have many more slides. So this is me with a bunch of the ID trees, and me and them. I would love to say thank you for your attendance, if you have been till the end, as this is more than 1 hour, and I would like to stop my screen sharing and still show my face, as voice is fun, but so this is me, Matis, and I would be very happy if you have any questions. You can approach our very professional dealerships all around Estonia, and they will give answer to you, or you can contact me through them. Just copy my contacts, and I will be glad to get in contact with you if you have some very nice ideas, or if you simply need some materials for your thesis, or for your studies, some experience from the car industry. Yes, I guess we are about to end on this note. once again, it was my pleasure, and I'm very honored to be here with you today. Thanks for watching, and if you would like to, this video will be also available on YouTube as a record, so you can share that and yeah, check whether my guesstimates, as we are calling it here, have made happen in the real life regarding the e-mobility switch and so on. Yeah, as we don't know what will happen tomorrow. But yeah, have a good evening from my side. It was my pleasure, and I hope talk to you later and visit my brothers in Estonia soon. Okay, bye guys.